Welcome to LexTalk World Talk Show presented by ClickWick Readers. Today we have Mr. Prantap Kalra with us. He is multifaceted counsel with 16 plus years of diverse legal experience, international and local, focusing on handling business operations spanning manufacturing, IT, outsourcing, sales, marketing, distribution, customer-related issues, and corporate secretarial function. His experience as a counsel at the Supreme Court and with law firms had given him a profound understanding of working with the legal framework and implementing strategies to avoid managed disputes and instructing external counsel. An Indian counsel with rich international experience, currently serving as the General Counsel for Nissan India and South Asia. Thank you so much for joining us, Mr. Prantap. We are pleased to have you with us today.
Thank you, pleased to be here.
Great, so our viewers would like to know more about your personal and professional backgrounds. Can you please tell us more about you?
Oh, sure. So I am from the amazing city of Meerut in UP. I was born there. And in my formative years, we moved to Delhi. My schooling is then from Delhi. I completed my law school in 2004 from Bangalore University and returned back to Delhi to pursue my professional career. Had the privilege of working with some amazing people and corporates throughout my professional life. I currently have been serving as the General Counsel for India and South Asia for Nissan. I support multiple corporate entities, and I have a wonderful team of lawyers and company secretaries who help me. My recent international assignment was at Nissan's global headquarters in Yokohama, Japan. On a personal front, my interests are painting, running, and reading, and very recently I've took the liking for skydiving. So that's about me.
Wow. So you have been serving with Nissan. So I just need to understand how the automotive sector in the Indian region is impacted due to this COVID. And what solutions do you foresee from the legal perspective?
Oh, yes. COVID has had a lot of impact. So if I may say, the total industry volume for the month of April was zero. For automotive and probably for a lot of other industries as well. So simply put, the impact is exponential and unimaginable. Every day from the time we got to know about the COVID, we're stepping into the unknown. But the only thing that is keeping us going is the resilience, hope, and faith that things will get back to order. And now, obviously, the impact is intense. And it varies from industry and people and countries. But talking specifics from an automotive perspective, if I may. So if we take the manufacturing perspective, I think the challenges would be planning issues. You have to have the production capacity and capability realigned based on ever-changing forecasts, uncertain demands. So the production schedules are not normal as they used to be. There could be call-offs. Supply chain logistic is another bottleneck. Material shortage can happen. Vendors are probably in containment zone or green zones. It could be either ways. Again, regulatory requirement and changes. There are a lot of safety measures and guidelines that have come in place. From a vendor side, there may be cash flow issues for them. So that's mostly the manufacturing perspective very quickly. Moving to marketing and sales from an automotive perspective, I think it's the new customer acquisition will change. The way you acquire customer and give the customer service, etc. You would have to recalibrate your production volumes and probably your launches. There is an unpredictable customer sentiment and expectation. It's ever changing now. It's more dynamic, obviously. There is an inability to predict sales volumes. Generally, it used to be, but I think it's changed a lot. And then comes your dealer network stability and viability, whether it's financially or infrastructure-wise. And last but not the least, obviously, is how soon can you return to the normal operations? Because the more you are into this vacuum of the scenario, if I may say so, you never know what's the next normal. While we call this the new normal, but how long will you sustain is the other question from marketing and sales. And if the automotive is also involved somewhere in the NBFC process, which a lot of them are, then again, the customer acquisition comes into picture again, because who's buying the car? or the loans happening, and then repayment and collection issues will be faced. Customer
Okay.
service, contact support. One of the big aspects for NBFC and insurance is customer support. How do you keep that running? We have seen the loan moratorium. I think the impact will have to be seen as in how things go. Some automotives decided to go with it, but the customers didn't want it, and vice versa. And apart from these, I think the another important challenge and opportunity both is in the human resource aspect. How do you keep your people engaged and motivated in these times? Because at the end of the day, the strength comes from the team, the employees. Now, if while we talk about the challenges and opportunities that are being faced from a legal perspective, if I have to give out some solutions or opportunities, I think the big word would be digitization and digitalization. Uh, it's a different concept. Both are different, but to narrow it down, it'll be either go digital or be digital. Examples very quickly could be, end-to-end contract management or source to pay tools.
Yeah.
I've seen in my limited experience that the international entities or companies use contract management tools very heavily, but it does not prevail so much in India. It is there, but it's not so effectively used in my view. Again, how do you manage your litigations, your law firms, and invoice management? Because now you're not able to do your invoicing through your couriers or speed post, etc. So it has to go digital there. Even though digital signatures have existed, but I
Yes.
haven't seen so much of usage there, right? And then coming to even the secretarial and compliance related aspects, I hope and I feel that tools and technology support will have to be brought in a lot of entities
Yeah.
to make them effective. Again, contracts, as probably a lot of the members in the field feel, will change. Now, whether it is the customers side or the delivery expectations, whether you call it supplier obligations, supply chain aspects, force majeure, everybody talks about it. Yes, today it's important. There is payment, penalties, exit clauses. I think everything will come down to revisiting what an entity's risk parameters and appetites are today, and
Yeah.
how they plan to change those in future. Because normal is no longer the normal, as everybody says, right? So what's next? Once this is over, people will have to see through it. And I think this happened before, at least from a Chennai perspective, when long time back, the floods happened and there was a disaster management implemented. Fortunately, unfortunately, I was there in Chennai at that point in time as well. So we had to go through this very minor rigor at that point in time. This is completely unusual. Now, coming to again back to the technology sides of things, probably there is a scope wherein you would see issues relating to security, frauds, phishing attempts, malwares, etc. And there is where data theft will come into picture, and we may see that happening as well. And then how do you get your white hats into the picture? How do you secure your servers and entities? Data is also going to be very imperative, because a lot of our work today happens on the clouds with the third party providers, right? While they may be secured, you still have the opportunity of infiltration. How do you curb those is also important. So net, I think the other fourth part is, I think we just whether we like it or not, we entered into the era of forced reinvention. We've been trying to do it at a certain pace, but now we're forced to look into things and do things which probably we would have put a gestation period of a couple of years. We've had to pull everything forward and say we have to now do it. Work from home, for example, right? Again, from a vehicle perspective, probably electrification, connected cars, policy framework, and infrastructural support in our country may improve. There may be a strengthening of those aspects. And I think all in all, the organizations will need to have a laser sharp focus on effectiveness with efficiency. And they'll have to lean towards customer service and experience. And obviously, this also includes employees' experience as well. So it'll be it'll be seen that, how the country and the entities adapt and how quick they are, because all this is expected to bring new regulatory changes, whether it is internal corporate policies, culture, understanding, or from the country perspective. Those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I completely agree with you because we have to enable technology in our business now. Otherwise, there is no future because, as you said, how long this is going to be a new normal. So we have to think accordingly and we have to work accordingly.
Yeah.
Right. So you have worked in almost all branches of legal profession across continents with international as well as the local stakeholders. So what are the three top learnings you would like to share with our viewers?
Okay, so I think the top learnings would be, one we obviously face, but there is only one permanent constant, which is actually change. So,
Yes.
so we got to adapt quickly. I think the second thing is issues will happen, mistakes happen. And at some point in time, we all make mistakes, we all go wrong. We don't stress or beat yourself down on it. Learn from the mistake, don't repeat, and just keep moving forward. And the third part is, I think the third top learning is always ask for feedback. It's extremely important to know whether there's scope of improvement, because there always is. Nobody is 100% perfect in my view. I am not, definitely. So I always seek feedback from my mentors, from my colleagues. Can we do something about it? Can I do something different? Can we together bring something new? So it has to be that way.
Yeah, that's really important. As you mentioned mentors, so I just need to understand what advices and learnings did you receive from your mentors?
So I think the top one was always know your worth and don't compromise on self-respect. I think that always resonates with me. And I think the second was know the deal. So now you might be doing a very small engagement or a contract or even an opinion, right? Or you might be doing a multi-million-dollar deal. Uh, you have to know the whole perspective, not just from that small contract or deal, but from your entity perspective. How does it bring value to your entity and your employees, and what is the management trying to do? A lot of time I've seen that, um, business people, including lawyers, they see the contract in a silo and they say, okay, this is how it is, right? It's not how it always will be, because something will go wrong. And I think COVID unfortunately proves all these things, that you cannot live in silos. You have to think of the bigger picture always, and then work towards your goal in a sustainable manner. I think third is, and again, these are not in order of priorities again, but you will always be as good as your team. I'm a single individual. I can only contribute 24 hours in a day, but always have a good team and make sure that your team is amazing. I have a wonderful team, and I think I'm more effective because of my team. So team is very important.
Yeah, that will make your work easy also.
Sure.
Yeah. So as a legal profession, what are the three core values you truly believe in?
First one comes easily: integrity. There's no compromise on this. No integrity, nothing will happen. It'll not fly. I think the second is, it's sort of a mix, but I would probably call it dependability. In my view, a person can only be dependable if she or he is loyal, reliable, effective, and has a positive approach towards things, right? And therefore, I just put it together as dependability. And third, which in my experience, I've seen, is emotional maturity. You have to keep your emotions, your egos, and biases always outside, right? And these might not be the positive bias; these could be cognitive biases as well. You have to be aware, because you're at the end of the day a business enabler, and business cannot be enabled if you don't have emotional maturity. Those are the three top things that come to me very quickly.
Wow, lovely. So thank you so much, Mr. Prantap, for sharing such great insights with us. And we look forward to having a chat with you again in the future on some other trending topics. And for our viewers, if you like this chat, please like and share this video and subscribe to Clickway Creators YouTube channel to appreciate what we do and have more coming from the industry leaders. This is Abhishek for LexTalk World.